Have you ever opened a spreadsheet and just felt completely lost, like you're just staring at a wall of numbers? Well, today, we're going to show you how to turn that raw data into a story, one that actually makes sense and reveals the secrets hiding inside.
Okay, so let's jump right in. This is where pretty much every data journey starts, with something that looks like this, right? A giant, dense grid of numbers and text. This is our raw material, our unexplored territory. Looking at this can feel super overwhelming, but here's the secret. You don't find the story by staring harder at the numbers. You find it by knowing how to ask the right questions, and, more importantly, using the right tools to let the data talk.
To find our way, we really just need a map. And in the world of data, our map is a visualization. It's the thing that takes this chaotic landscape and turns it into something we can actually navigate, with mountains of insights and rivers of trends. So, let's start setting up our base camp for this whole exploration. Our first tool, and it's a big one, is a Python library called Pandas. It's absolutely perfect for creating that first initial map of our data.
So what is Pandas, really? Honestly, think of it like the ultimate Swiss Army knife for data. It does all the heavy lifting for us, reading the data, cleaning it up, and getting it into these nice, neat tables called data frames. It gets everything ready for us to actually analyze.
And just like that, Pandas takes that messy, raw file and whips it into a structured data frame. It's all the same information, but now it's organized and it's ready for us to start digging in.
And this is where the magic really starts. With just one simple command, Pandas, working with its default buddy matplotlib, can turn that table into this. Instantly, you can see a clear comparison of NO2 levels across cities. The story is already starting to take shape. But this first part, it's really just the beginning of the conversation. To really get what's going on, we need to go a level deeper. We need to start asking some smarter questions. For example, we know the average pollution levels, but does it change during the week? Is there a difference between, say, a Monday morning rush hour and a quiet Sunday afternoon? That's the kind of question that leads to some real insight.
So to answer that, we're going to use this really cool feature in Pandas to group our data. Basically, we'll tell it to lump all the weekday data into one bucket and all the weekend data into another. Then we'll get the average for each bucket and plot it.
And boom, just look at that. This simple chart shows us a really clear pattern. Just by looking at the data from a slightly different angle, we've found that NO2 levels are way lower on the weekends. Now that is an actual insight. And Pandas has so many more tricks up its sleeve. We can totally reshape our data to see it from a new perspective. We can zoom out from hourly data to look at monthly trends. We can pretty much slice and dice our timeline however we want to find interesting patterns.
All right, so for even deeper insights and, let's be honest, much prettier graphics, it's time to call in a specialist. And that specialist is another amazing library called Seaborn.
So here's the thing that makes Seaborn so cool. It's what we call declarative. Think of it this way. Instead of telling a painter exactly how to mix the paints and every single brush stroke to make, you just describe the final scene you want. With Seaborn, you focus on the what, the meaning you want the plot to have, and it takes care of the how.
First up, we can visualize trends. A line plot is absolutely perfect for this. It lets you see the natural ebb and flow of a value, like air quality, over days, months, or even years.
Next, we can start to explore relationships. Do two different things move together? When one goes up, does the other go down? Charts like scatter plots are fantastic for uncovering these kinds of hidden connections in your data. And finally, we can look at distributions. This is all about understanding the shape of our data. What are the most common values? Are there any weird outliers? A histogram gives you a super quick and clear picture of the whole landscape.
Okay, now check this out. On the left, you've got your standard scatter plot, right? It's just a cloud of dots. But on the right, with one little Seaborn command, we've added a regression line. That line is like a visual summary of the trend, and it instantly makes the relationship between these two variables crystal clear.
So we have all these amazing tools, but the real skill here isn't just knowing how to make a chart. It's knowing which chart to use to answer the specific question you're trying to figure out.
And this table right here, this is your cheat sheet for data storytelling. It directly connects the question you have in your head with the perfect chart to answer it. You want to see how something changes over time? Go for a line plot. Need to compare different groups? A bar plot is definitely your best friend. Searching for that hidden connection? A scatter plot will light it up.
So let's just step back for a second. In just a few minutes, we've gone all the way from a confusing, intimidating wall of numbers to a clear story with real, actionable insights. We didn't just look at the data. We asked it questions and we let it talk back. And that, right there, is why this all matters. Every single data set, whether it's for your job, for a personal project, or just pure curiosity, has a story inside it just waiting to be discovered. The only question left is, now that you have the map, what story are you going to find?